We are undertaking the largest investigation into the RSPCA in history, with over 40 farms, over 50 investigators, hundreds of hours of footage, and an official published report. By the end of this video, you will see how the world's oldest and largest animal welfare organisation is covering up cruelty on an industrial scale, and how we take matters into our own hands and save an animal from certain death. If, like me, you grew up trusting the RSPCA, this is a video you don't want to miss. So we're just on our way to a laying hen farm. It has around 64,000 hens in this one massive shed. The most trusted animal charity in the UK is putting their stamp of approval on these farms. If there is an emergency, say red, and then we know that we need to get out of there. Getting a biosuit on, it's just to protect ourselves from spreading any kind of disease. This is so far removed from what the RSPCA show people. Not what you see in their adverts. The RSPCA Assured scheme is supposed to be the gold standard of British farming, and if this is the best, then I dread to see what the worst is. We just came across this chicken who doesn't seem to be able to raise her head normally or straighten her neck. It just looks like so uncomfortable. The fact that they're allowing this to happen to certain species just shows that they're not consistent in their views. If these were dogs, this would not be acceptable to the RSPCA. The RSPCA often claim that these farms are just one bad apple, but we're seeing time and time again proving that this is not the case. The whole barrel is rotten.
And they just keep twitching, and you can tell that they're just holding on to life.
The worst part about being on investigations is having to see all of these animals suffering and then having to leave them behind and go home.
When they suffer, I feel that hurts me.
What are the RSPCA doing?
So we're here in Scotland at Loch Duach Farm, which is a salmon farm. You can see behind me, here are the cages where the salmons are being kept. There's tens of thousands of fish, up to 100,000 fish per ring. This factory farm consists of huge cages where the salmon have to swim in circles for their whole lives. And the death rates in these farms are incredibly high. I think they sit around 40%, but can be as high as 80%. Disease is also rife in these places. They can often get big wounds on their skin from the sea lice. It's really heartbreaking. Clearly in a lot of pain. It's a lot of suffering. We know that naturally they swim thousands of miles back to where they were born. And it's just frightening that this is RSPCA Assured and they're giving the golden tick to places like these that have a pipe to remove all the dead fish. And what's worse is that all the pollution from these farms are just being pumped directly into the Scottish lochs. There's no ethical way to do this. This is the RSPCA, this is the best possible standard. It's just horrific. It's just not fair.
this is Charlie. Yeah, you're going to get taken care of. We've just rescued them from an RSPCA Assured pig farm. They're so sweet. They're beautiful. Hello. We saw this abscess and we just really thought that they really needed veterinary care. They weren't going to get it in the farm that they're in.
I've never seen anything in my life that comes close to the horrific conditions that I've seen across these RSPCA Assured farms. I'm a nurse and it's just not in me to leave them here.
And we can really get her taken care of and give her the life that she truly deserves, not a life in here. You're going somewhere very safe now. Yes, you are.
A lot of the suffering and distress of the animals seen in this video falls inside the RSPCA Assured scheme standards. We've investigated over 40 RSPCA Assured farms across the country. Regulation breaches have been common and widespread, showing how difficult it is for farms to meet these ridiculously low standards. We found pigs dying and dead, lying on the floor. We found chicks dead and dying from starvation and dehydration. Unbearable suffering everywhere we looked. The public trusts the RSPCA to protect animals, when in fact we found the majority of the animals they claim to protect are suffering under this scheme, while they paint this idyllic fairy tale picture of British farming. Things are so bad, we had to rescue animals from RSPCA Assured farms. We shouldn't be the ones having to rescue animals from the RSPCA. They should be rescuing animals from this industry. We're asking them to drop the Assured scheme and start telling the truth.
Charlie.
Hello!
Oh, hello. Hello.
Hello, sweetheart. She looks so much better.
So amazing to see her here in the place that she's really meant to be.
This is the very first time that Charlie has seen grass and has been able to put her snout in the dirt.
Considering where she'd come from before, it just makes me so happy to see her in such the perfect environment. She's going to have such a good life here.
I believe we're a nation of animal lovers, and I think if anyone were to see animals suffering like they do on RSPCA Assured farms, they would rescue those animals. They would want to take them from harm's way. The RSPCA need to drop the Assured scheme, and they need to start telling the truth about animal farming and fishing. We need the RSPCA to be brave and bold and to protect all animals. This is what that looks like.